Die Hard holds the weird distinction of being the last game that I needed to complete my Famicom set. That should tell you something about how rare the game wound up being, but it's also pretty undesirable, and as a result, it only cost me about 3,000 yen. It also didn't hurt that I aggressively went after the high-priced items when I decided I would go for a complete Famicom set. There's a lot of games named Die Hard, based on the film Die Hard, and as far as I can tell, most of them are unique. The version on the Famicom and NES was developed solely for the console. The plot of the game follows the movie very closely. Tough guy cop John McClane heads to a Christmas party at his wife's office, where the building is taken over by an enormous band of thieves. They're planning on not letting any of their hostages live, so it's up to him to take down the entire group. While it was hardly the first movie to do this, Die Hard popularized the action subgenre where they have one man against an army of villains in an enclosed area. And this game actually does a pretty reasonable job of replicating that experience. The game consists of 40 men, and if you manage to take out all 40, you win. You can move freely around the building, and so can the attackers. If they realize what floor you're on, they'll come after you on that floor. Their starting positions aren't randomized, but there are a lot of options that will change how the game plays out. In the game, the A button is your primary attack, while the B button has a variety of functions that you cycle through by pressing select. By default, it makes you sprint, but as you kill the bad guys, they'll drop equipment that you can use. You start out with a pistol that has 15 bullets, and if you run out of ammo, you're reduced to punching. You can get a machine gun, and that always takes priority over your pistol. Besides taking people's lives, the guns have other functions. You can shoot up soda machines to get them to drop health refills, and it's also how you knock down doors. Other things that might drop for you are a radio so that you can listen in on the terrorists' plans, flashbangs which can stun enemies, assuming you can hit them with them, and the key to the roof. Besides the visible health bar, you also have a health bar for your feet, and that'll decrease as you walk on broken glass, or if you run, because apparently John McClane has very dainty feet. The health bar for your feet decrease, you move slower and slower. And while your standard health can be refilled just by drinking soda, you have to find med kits to restore your feet. That's actually one of the big challenges in Die Hard. There's a finite amount of resources in the building. As you use up the items you find around the building, they're gone forever. Also, when you get hit, you drop things. Maintaining your resources is a really big deal here. The bad guys are attempting to unlock a vault, and it will take them 30 minutes to do so. Once that time is up, a new floor becomes available to you, where the leader of the group is holding your wife hostage. Everybody who you didn't manage to kill heads there as well. You'll have to fight your way through everyone to get the good ending. There are a lot of ways to get around the building. You could, for example, take the elevator. It's fast, but everyone hears the ding when the door opens. You could go up and down the stairs, but doing so will cost you time. You can also crawl through the vents to get to the different floors, but once the terrorists know that you're up there, they'll start taking shots through the vent, and you'll get extra damage when that happens. Other things that you have to consider are that destroying the building's master computer will slow them down in opening the vault. You can also do some events that mirror the movie, and the closer you follow the film's plot, the better the ending that you get. Now all of that sounds pretty cool, except the primary thing that you want to do in Die Hard is shoot at the bad guys, and that part is not good. The enemies other than the bosses come in two varieties: green-shirted guys who have pistols, and blue-shirted guys who have machine guns. And they will both spray you with a ton of bullets, enough to make the game almost feel like a bullet hell. And while they're firing wildly in your direction, they're also dancing around like crazy, and it's very difficult to hit them with anything. By the end of my play session, I was okay at leading my shots, but I only ever managed to hit someone with a flashbang once. It takes 3 or 4 shots to down someone, and you're probably going to miss about twice as often as that. Given how limited your ammo is, those misses really sting. and a lot of the fighting takes place in narrow corridors where you can't even dodge. There are 2 difficulty modes in Die Hard, and playing on the advanced mode means that you take extra damage, as well as there being a few additional floors you can reach. I think I prefer some slower, more stealth-focused combat. You really need options where you can take people down without them noticing, and then get away before more show up. As it is, direct combat is deadly to you, but you don't have any other option other than to engage in it. In Japan, Die Hard seems to mainly be known for being rare and extremely difficult. Not many people seem to have played it, but those that did really like to mention how hard they found the game. For me, Die Hard has a lot of really good ideas with some bad execution. I can see the shape of a really good game here, and then I get into a gunfight with the crooks and it goes away. I appreciate the ambition in trying to do something really different with an action game, but this one needed a lot more polish.